Good morning, everyone, and happy election day for today. Who all the people who are watching us from US. We are going to be talking about healthy way to lose weight. I think all of us have these extra pounds. We want to lose weight. So what I'm going to do is Concita Thomas, who is a food and fitness coach, and she helps women achieve sustainable weight loss on their own terms. So she should be joining me in 1 second. Here you are, Conchita. Hi. Hello, can you see me? Conchita, can you see me?
Hi, I can see you now. Hello.
Okay, great. Well, happy election day. This is a great day for be doing, this webinar in this country. Amazing things are going to happen. So cross our fingers.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm just praying for a peaceful day for all.
Yes,
We're
praying for
definitely
the
high.
peaceful day. Yes, absolutely. So I was just introducing you. You are a food and a fitness coach, and you help women like all of us to achieve like a sustainable weight loss. And what is your mantra? Let's just educate us a little bit because all of us are trying to lose those extra 5-10 pounds. So what's your mantra?
Well, really, what I practice and coach and teach is sustainable weight loss. It's funny that we're having this interview today because I had an epiphany literally, I think it was yesterday, that for all this time I've been saying that I help women who are on a weight loss journey and I help them to achieve lasting weight loss, in a way that enhances their life with a process that's equal parts effective and enjoyable. And it dawned on me yesterday after getting a message from
Clients, your voice broke up a little bit, Conchita. Conchita, your voice was breaking up. Your network connection was breaking up. Can you repeat it? What you just said? Yeah, yeah, I can hear you now. You said
yeah,
that yesterday's one. Yeah.
right. So the epiphany that I had is that, can you hear me? Are we still good?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear
Hello.
you. Yes.
What happens is as to
Your network connection is not. Your voice is breaking up, Conchita. Conchita, your voice is breaking up. Okay, your voice is breaking up in between. So what I just want to repeat what I heard. What you're saying is that you want to help women lose weight that's enjoyable, that's sustainable, right? Your,
that is
your voice is
correct.
breaking
And
up. That's the problem.
you know what? Let me try and go out and come back in and see if that's better.
Okay, okay. So we're just going to wait for Conchita to come back. But what I can understand is that, you can lose weight that's enjoyable without going into like strange diets. Like I think all of us have tried all kind of diets. And you're welcome to give us a feedback, what you have done. So that what she helps us do is, she helps women do is helps them lose weight in a healthy way that's enjoyable and sustainable. Because most of us, what happens is, I would lose like 5 pounds, 10 pounds, and then I gain right back because I'm not able to sustain my weight journey, the weight loss journey. And I start getting all kind of, cravings and sugar and all that. That's what happens to me. What happens to you? You tell us, because what we are trying to do is trying to bring experts who can help all of us in something or the other. So hopefully Conchita can join me in 1 second, and I'm not the one who's talking, but that's really what the intent is. So let's see if Conchita can join. But any feedback or anything that you like to see, that if you have been able to lose weight in a healthy way or not, share us your story. So let me get Conchita again to join me. 1 second. She's joining me again, and we're going to ask her some questions as to how she has helped so many of her clients to, to lose weight. Okay, there you are. I've been just trying. Okay. So you were talking about one of your clients, Conchita. Hello, Conchita. Can you hear me? Okay, so she's trying to join us in 1 second.
There we go. There
Okay,
we go.
there you are. Okay,
Yeah.
so you were, yeah, much better, much better. So you were saying something about your client yesterday. Can you repeat that, because it didn't come out? I don't think people could hear you clearly.
Yes. I said, I got a text from a client who was on vacation with her husband, and she was doing a check-in, and she was telling me how well it was going, particularly comparing it to how vacation had been before. And it really dawned on me in that moment that what I really do is I help my clients curate a lifestyle that works for them, that feels good. She didn't send me a text saying, oh, I did it. I was able to, willpower my way through dessert and not partake and not enjoy with my husband. It wasn't that. It was more so, hey, my husband joined me on my walk, and hey, you were right. These tips did work, and this is what I did at dinner. And oh my goodness, I can't believe this works. It feels so amazing. It feels so good. Yeah, she's losing weight, and that's great, and that's what she came for. But the reason why it works and the reason why it's going to stick is because she's not just losing weight. She's curating a lifestyle. It's something that works whether she's at work or on vacation or at home. And that's the missing piece of the puzzle with so many programs and approaches to weight loss. It's all about, willpowering your way through something that you don't enjoy. And I much prefer to teach people how to take the lifestyle that they do enjoy and make small tweaks so that they can get and keep results.
So when you talk about the lifestyle, just explain a little bit more. Like, of course, we know that we have to control our portions, all those things. But when you talk about the lifestyle, what exactly do you mean? Like exercise? I mean, just explain it a little bit more.
Yep. So when I talk about lifestyle, I'm talking about all of the things that you already know work, right? You already know that portion control works. You already know that movement works. But when I say lifestyle, I mean how. Specifically, how do you execute that in a way that fits your life? And that's going to be different from person to person and client to client. Yeah. Some people enjoy, boot camp style workouts. Some people despise that, but they will happily go for a walk in nature. Yeah. Most of my clients don't like weighing and measuring their food, but they'll happily, fill up on veggies and proteins first and then add dessert so that it's easier to portion control. So when I say lifestyle, I mean more so not what you have to eat, what you have to avoid, but how. What habits and routines and personal policies do you put in place that you actually like doing that help you do the stuff that you've known to do for decades?
Got it. So what are some of the good foods for weight loss? I mean, we don't want to go into the details, but just give our viewers few, just some idea.
Of what specifically? You broke up a little bit. Were you asking for specifics about the food or specifics about the
food?
Yes.
The food.
Okay, so for instance, with food, most of us know that in order to lose weight and to keep it off, that we need to create and maintain a calorie deficit. most of us do that by literally just trying to cut back. Like, I'm going to cut calories, or I'm going to measure my food. So one of the tricks, or two actually, of the strategies and tricks that I have my clients use is to figure out which vegetables they enjoy, which proteins they enjoy, how to combine those in meals that they like, because by nature, fiber, which is in vegetables, by nature, protein is going to help you be fuller longer. So how can you switch your meals so that they're not so carbohydrate centric, so that they're more protein and vegetable centric, without cutting out the protein though? I mean, without cutting out the carbs. You don't need to cut them, but how can you take them from the center of the meal and make them more of the accent of the meal? So that's just one specific trick that we use in order to make it easier to create a caloric deficit without feeling like you're forcing it.
Forcing a diet, or just kind of starving yourself, right? That would be the word. Yeah. So you talk a lot about 5-minute meals, on your website. I went, it's very impressive. So what is the trick? Because I end up cooking, like, I don't know, for sometimes 1 hour. I cook, I try to cook fresh foods, but what is the trick of getting like 5-minute fresh food? What's your karma?
Okay. Yes. So big trick is buying fresh foods that are already at least partially prepared. So we eat a lot of vegetables in my house, but most times, for instance, cabbage, I will buy cabbage that's already washed and shredded. Salad greens, I will buy salad greens that are already washed and cut. I buy frozen vegetables often as well. Also, because any time that I can save on washing and slicing and dicing cuts down on time tremendously. I do the same thing with my meat and my fish, individually wrapped and portioned pieces of meat so that they're easy to thaw quickly and to cook quickly. That makes a big difference. So it's not all about buying boxed foods and just popping cans open. Not at all. This is fresh food, but just spending a little bit of extra on the front end to get things that are washed, things that are cut, things that are individually frozen, so that they're easier to thaw and easier to prepare more quickly.
No, the other thing is, if you buy what you're suggesting, they're already in a sort of like a small package with which they are cut. So you can only take that. That comes to my next question is, how do you control your portion without measuring food or relying on your willpower? Because I'll tell you, all of us get strange cravings of sugar, and you go and you start eating some cookies or some strange things like that. So what are the tricks of portion control? I mean, that's one of the tricks. You said buy that are already sliced and diced, and they'll package it like that, so you make it. What other things can we do to portion control and controlling our measuring, relying on our willpower? How do we do that?
Okay, so with the portion control, so you're right. So even though that was a quick cooking tip, it does help with portion control, because if I'm buying like individually wrapped chicken breast and I cook 4 and there's 4 of us in the family, then I'm not going to be going back for any seconds, because there's literally nothing to go back for. But the other thing to notice too is sometimes I cook more than what is required for a day. But again, when I'm filling up first with vegetables and protein and I have some rice on the side, that's not usually what we overeat, right? So most times, you're going to be full when you eat that way. And the other part of it too is a little bit of mindfulness, right? Because we've all before overeaten or stuffed ourselves past the point of being full. So that is just a little bit of a practice. And my clients and I, we call it our personal policy: always satisfied, never stuffed. And that just takes deciding that is how you're going to live your life. And it also takes just paying attention to how it feels, how everything feels. Like if you go overboard one time and you overeat, don't beat yourself up like, oh, that was bad, I'm not supposed to do that. Ask yourself, how did that feel? Because when you connect with how it felt, And when you're like, you know what, that really didn't feel good, it's a lot easier that next time to stop before you're stuffed, because you didn't check out because you felt guilty. You checked in and you said, you know what, that didn't feel good. I don't think I want to do that to myself next time because it just didn't feel good. So it's a combination of tips and tricks, but also paying attention and checking in and not checking out, which is another reason why it works, because with so many other approaches to weight loss, you literally teach yourself to check out. If you're hungry, it doesn't matter. You can't eat. You're over your portions. If you want a little bit more rice or potatoes that day, you can't have it because you're already over your macros. But with this approach, it really is about tips and the strategies to set yourself up for success, but then checking in and staying connected with how it all feels so that you can adjust accordingly and not be a slave to the rules, because we're all adults. We rebel. You put harsh, strict guidelines on us, we may stick to it for a little while, but if it does not feel good and we feel forced into it, we eventually rebel. And that's why it's on again and off again for so many of us.
So emotional connect to the food is critical, is what right, that and it is very true. Like, you know, when I eat chocolate, I feel better, but when I eat some veggies, I'm like, oh my God, you know, it's like, you know, the food has emotional connection. Each food, if you think about it, has an emotional connection to how we feel, whether we feel good, whether we feel depressed, or whether we feel, you know, I don't know, sad or something. But I think that's a really great tip that you're saying. What else would you like to talk about today? I mean, we can have another session on a completely different topic. These are like smaller 10-15 minute bite size that we want to bring to our viewers. What else would you like to add?
I just want to add that you're right. Food is emotional, and we have emotional connections to food. And that is, again, why this approach is so important, because I'm not saying that you ignore your emotions or that you don't honor the emotional and even cultural connections to food. In different cultures, you eat certain things at different times of the year or to celebrate different festivals. And a lot of times, different approaches, mainstream approaches to weight loss, do not honor that type of stuff. Your preferences, your culture, your traditions, if it doesn't fit narrowly into the box, often it's sidelined and designated for cheap meals and cheap days. And how does that even feel, to kind of consider the way that you eat and live as a cheat, as if something about you is against the rules, you know? So I think it's important to honor those preferences, to even honor the emotional connections. There is certain candy that I eat, and I'm not really a huge candy eater anymore, but there's certain candy that I eat because I have fond memories of, oh, that was my mom's favorite candy, or we always, you know, at Halloween put candy corn inside of popcorn and eat it together. Is it the healthiest thing? No. But
yeah,
that I can fit into a lifestyle and still get results and honor those connections, absolutely. And I think that's the biggest thing, just realizing that your whole, you bring your whole self to a weight loss journey. And anything that requires you to cut off part of yourself in order to make it work is not a long-term solution, and it's not gonna work for the long term. And so we really can save ourselves a lot of frustration and a lot of energy by just vetting programs up front that way. Like, okay, where do the things that I like to eat fit into this program? Can they fit into this program? And if it only fits in as a once a week cheat, that's probably not something that's gonna last and work for you long term.
That's very beautifully said. I mean, to summarize, you know, you tailor the solution according to lifestyle. You suggest your clients to make lifestyle modifications. Then you talked about, you know, buying buying sliced and washed vegetables, and then you know, so that's easier for people to cook. Then you talked about the portion control. That's very important. Then you talked about the emotional connect the food has with you, all of us actually for that matter. Try to see your feelings, that's something that you talked about. And then what else? Did I miss anything? I'm just want to summarize, the key elements, the key steps.
No, I think you summarized beautifully. The only thing is, remember that protein and veggies really do help you to fill up.
Yes.
So again, it's not that those carbs need to be cut. That is not the solution long term. It's just that we need to take them out of the center of the meal. They're no longer the stars. They're on the side. But you got everything.
Great. Well, low carb, yes. Thank you so much, Concita, for being with us today and giving all of our viewers, healthy way to eat and healthy way to sustain our weight. So any questions, any comments anyone has, you're welcome to reach out to us. With that, I'd like to wrap up this session, and hopefully we, by tonight we'll know who our president is. So that should be, cross our fingers, everything goes smooth today in this country. Praying for that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Have a great day.
Thank you.